we have a guest who has joined us to come and talk to us a little bit about the educational sector and what she's doing also in the various things. And remember, it's Women's Month. We're looking at the phenomenal women who are doing absolutely amazing things within the country and, of course, touching the global world. Today, we're honored to have the exceptional individual in the form of Dr. Maria Mafunga Kimu. She is a stellar as far as her academic background is concerned. She holds various degrees as well, and she runs a foundation that is definitely going to be empowering a girl or two. And of course, the boy child is also never left out there. Good morning, Maria. How are you?
I'm blessed. Thank you so much.
So do I call you Doc, or do I call you Maria, or do I call you Mafunga Kimu? Which one do you prefer?
It's Dr. Maria Mafunga Kimu, like that.
Yeah?
Yes.
So good morning, Dr. Maria Mafunga Kimu.
Good morning to you. And
You have
thank
two
you for
surnames, or they're just a double barrel?
It's a double-barreled.
Okay.
I'm a married woman, and I'm also, I have a family I come from, the Mafungas. So I am Dr. Maria Mafunga Kim, my maiden name and my married name.
Okay.
Yes.
That's honor there, yeah, to both the families. Just make sure that they're there in whatever she does. Now, Doc, you work very extensively within the academic sector. Please do tell us a little bit about the schools that you are involved with in the rural area. I understand there's about 3 of them. One is in Marondi, right?
Correct.
Please just shed a bit light on that for us.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. So my story to do with my school started 18 years ago when I started an ECD center back in Avondale with my daughter as my first student, and I was the first teacher. We then progressed into her becoming my first grade 1 student when she was rejected at a good school that I really hoped she would go to. And then kuipa kwechimwe kunaka kwechimwe, really.
Of course.
So I decided I was going to actually start a primary school, and then we progressed to a primary school. Thereafter, I moved to Rua, where I then purchased land and began construction of a primary school in 2012. So from there, the school grew, really. Going to as much as 750 students.
Wow.
At some point, yes. And then thereafter, a few years down the line, Quality Senior School came also. I decided it was time to then venture into high school education. And in this case, Quality Senior School is a day school. And of course, parents were asking how soon we're going to have a boarding school. That is how Hawk Ridge Senior School was birthed. A hawk being a clever bird, the cleverest that God ever made, and a clever bird perched on a ridge, hence the name Hawk Ridge. And just as much as we call the other 2 schools Quality Junior and Senior School, the vision was to provide a quality education. The same kind of education I would have wanted, or I wanted initially, for my own child.
Wow. Well, what's this child's name?
Her name is Chieza.
Okay.
And interestingly, she just completed her A-levels, and she's actually, we call them junior. She's a junior teacher there now. She's a junior teacher at the school as she awaits to go to university in August.
Do you think she should take up your path in some way?
If anything, I've been mentoring her ever since she could talk, to eventually fill in my shoes.
Okay.
Yes. So
That's
succession
fantastic.
plan is already...
The succession plan is in order.
Indeed.
Well, that's an organized doctor there, if you ask me. So how have you partnered with parents in shaping the futures of their junior schools at both, Quality Junior and Quality Senior schools, as well as at Hawk Ridge? And what advice would you probably give to parents that want to support their children's educational journey, seeing that you were also very much involved in Chieza's drive to education?
Okay, to start with, when a parent trusts you with their child, they're trusting you with their very lives. So you need to be somebody trustworthy, and you need to make sure that you don't betray that trust. Like you rightfully indicated, you want the best for your child. So in making sure that we are partnering, it means that the involvement of the parent in this life of the child in school is very important. So what we normally do, or what I have embraced, is to keep them informed, inspired, and involved. It doesn't matter what it is, involve them. And the most important thing that I have done is to make sure that we give quality. And by doing that, it means we need to keep tabs on the modern ways of teaching so that the children are not just in school in name only, but they're in a real school where they're exposed to a whole lot, starting with academics. We are talking about cultural activities. It could be marimba, drama. It could be public speaking. Last year, we had students go to Kenya, Nairobi, Kenya, representing Zimbabwe, and they came back with the African prize. So partnering with parents is not just having a child come to school Monday to Friday, but it's making sure that the child is transformed. Previously, I would say to parents, if you brought your child, a little boy or little girl, to my school at the minimum age of 3 years, I would say, I'll give you 21 days, or you can take your money back. You will begin to see a difference in your child. It could be their first word in English, or it could be their first, they are able to withstand separation anxiety because we keep them well engaged.
Separation anxiety is the worst. I have a little daughter who's 3.
Okay.
And yeah, it's always tough. I'm going to work, or she's going to school. She's in ECD right now, but it's always a tough one.
And it's a two-way process. Yeah. The child is feeling the anxiety, and the parent is feeling the anxiety.
I never thought I would, actually.
It's normal. It's normal.
But I do. So it's a tough environment, Zimbabwe, and you are a woman who's in this industry that is mainly dominated by males to a larger extent. Of course, in the recent past, women have started taking up these positions. Tell us a little bit about that journey. How has it been for you?
Unfortunately, as a woman, you are subject to sexism, and you are also subject to stereotypes, whereby by virtue of being a woman, there is an underestimation that you are not able to do it. For myself, for instance, I had to build these 3 schools from scratch. I'm talking about I want a block there, I want a block there, I want an administration block there, I want grounds over there. So half the time you're dealing with men. And you do have, moments where they're thinking, this lady, But, you just have to brace it up. You wear your confidence. Confidence is like a dress that you need to put on. Resilience becomes your middle name, and focus then become your daily bread. And of course, eventually you begin to get your respect, you get to be noticed, and people begin to listen.
They begin to listen to you. And of course, you mentioned that you're a family woman, you have children of your own and a husband as well on top of that.
Indeed.
How supportive have they been? And perhaps how difficult has it been to balance the work and the career?
It's not an easy position to be in where you have to be everywhere. But prioritizing what matters is what comes first. You need to be able to prioritize and to be able to know where you are, with whom you are, so that you act accordingly. Outside, before I walked in, a young girl was asking me, how hard is it to be a submissive wife when you've done so well? And I was telling her that it's easy if you are submitting to somebody with a mission of their own, because submission means you're going under a mission. So a man or a husband ought to have his own mission for it to be easy. So my husband has made it really easy because he's also...
How does that work?
It's not about the reward, really.
In a family set. But yeah, we are now more a material world than we were before. And that's a reality of someone who's watching. The woman is obviously perhaps at a higher position.
True.
How does that work from a submission perspective as a woman?
You need to train yourself. You need to have values that you subscribe to. To start with, if you're a Christian woman like I am, you are commanded to be submissive to your husband. So it's not about the husband. It's about your values. What have you internalized over the years? How have you been raised? I was raised to believe that we respect our parents, we honor them regardless of whether they are good or bad, or we respect our husbands or we submit to them regardless of whether vision yake or mission yake iri kudzora here. So it's not a contextual. It's not about whether it's giving a reward. But yes, you also want to see results from the other end. So the point is you probably need to encourage each other. You need to have mutual respect, and you need to have conversation. Suppose things are not working the way you expect.
So I'm gonna ask you this question also: how critical is a supportive partner in a journey such as you have, embarked on?
It's everything. It's everything. You've got your late nights. You've got your late homecomings. I was constructing a school in Marondera, and sometimes I would think I would be back in an hour or two, and then I found myself getting home as late as 11 p.m., and my husband would probably need to come halfway to fetch me. So it's everything, really. You've got your bad days. You've got your frustrating moments. So you need somebody that you just go and you present your vulnerabilities, because everybody out there believes that you're this iron lady, you're this ice queen, but you need to be able to show your vulnerabilities to somebody, and most importantly to a partner. So my husband is a very good listener. Sometimes it's not like he has to give you or he has to give me all the answers to my challenges, but he listens, and at best that is what you need.
Interesting. I think I asked that question very deliberately because I think in this new movement of supporting the emancipated woman, it's often difficult also for guys to provide that support, because we're not sure whether we're now encroaching or not, and that kind of thing. So, but you also run a foundation. Now, this one is called the Maria Mafunga Foundation.
Yes.
How did that come about, and how is it going so far?
Okay, I grew up as a very sharp child in terms of academic excellence. And by the time I was in Form 1, at a local school where I grew up in Tafara, I got a bursary to do my Form 1 and 2 for free. It was basically financed by the HRS City Council. And thereafter, I was even given a scholarship to do to go to a boarding school. So I am a beneficiary of kindness and empathy and recognition of students who do well. So when I began to see that my projects were giving back to me, I decided I also needed to give back to the community and empower the next person the way I had been empowered when I was discovered at age 13 and got, in the first instance, a bursary.
So what are the activities of the foundation, really?
It's basically to mentor, it's to give scholarships and financial aid to children, regardless of their gender, who are good in school, academically gifted, but who are not able to probably finance their education.
That is absolutely amazing. Well done for that.
Thank you.
Some great work, and also kudos to you being a beneficiary of a system that, a system of kindness that has brought you up to be this particular individual that you've come up to be. In case you're just joining us, we are talking to Dr. Maria Mafunga Kimu. She is an academic specialist. She runs a group of schools. And of course, time is always an enemy on a show like this. But before I let you go, Doc, what is your message to the girl child and the women that are out there that may be watching you right now and thinking, wow, she's such a firebrand, which you are, by the way?
Right. I'll start with the girls. When I was a young girl, nobody told me what I would want to tell them today. That when you are young, you need to make time and put effort and your energies into creating a network of support, because your network is your net worth. So as you grow up, you need to be able to make relationships that matter, that make a difference in your life, and to surround yourself with friends and people who are positive, people who take you to the next step. Now, for the women, some people may be thinking, oh, Ndakura, it's too late for me. There is nothing like that. Stay focused. Remember who you are. Sit down. Think of what you want to do or where you want to go, and work on that day after day after day. Effort always pays you back. Do not be discouraged. Do not feel threatened. Do not be embarrassed about being ridiculed. The last time I was on a podcast, I was telling people that when I first started my first ECD center in 2008, my own brother laughed at me and said to me, masters, and I felt really bad at that point. But it drove me to say, I am going to do better and I'm going to have to show him. A few years down the line, when I said I now wanted to build a school, somebody said to me, and then again, it's discouragement.
Yeah,
so do not be discouraged. Stay focused, stay put your foot down, be more resilient, be daring, because eventually it pays you. Nobody is coming to do it for you. No one is coming. It's just you and you alone.
Thank you so much, Dr. Maria, for those encouraging words. We really appreciate you, and I understand it's your birthday in a few days' time.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, happy birthday in advance.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we appreciate you so much. And please do greet the great man Kimu at home when you get there,
It's
please.
Engineer Kimu.
Okay?
Yes.
You're going to do that for us?
Yes, indeed. Yes, I would like to.
Fantastic.
Konapo, ipapo.